35 victories, including 32 wins by knockout, including 22 consecutive KOs, and he has KO'd every opponent he's faced over the last 8 years.
It's been 7 years since Gennady Golovkin knocked out a fighter that took the risk and moved up from welterweight. Going up 13 pounds is no joke, especially when one of your recent fights was against Sean Porter. Gennady Golovkin fought Kell Brook.
I'm ready for street fight.
Street fight?
Yeah.
The WBA said that the title would not be at stake because they said that they respected Golovkin's decision and gave him a special permit to take the fight, but they said that the title would not be at stake because Gilberto Mendoza Jr., the WBA president, said, "What I most regret is that there are no boxers at 160 pounds who will fight against Triple G, and Brook has to move up 2 divisions just to fight against him." Tom Loeffler said somehow the WBA thought that it was too dangerous for a welterweight to move up to middleweight and fight the biggest puncher in boxing. I guess that's a compliment to Golovkin because they sanctioned Adrian Broner moving up 2 divisions to fight Paulie Malignaggi and Roy Jones moving up 2 divisions to fight John Ruiz.
The difference between the percentage of punches that you land and the percentage of punches that the opponent lands.
In the lead up to the fight, Kell Brook sure was talking a lot.
I believe that, I've got everything in my arsenal to beat, Triple G.
It was a crazy fight. Kell Brook was even able to land some good punches on Golovkin.
All this hype about him, as the fight got on, I thought, he's just a man like me.
Including the uppercut that everyone remembers. Brook entered as a 6-1 underdog, but held his own throughout the first 12 minutes of action. Round 1. Brook is apparently going to stand toe-to-toe with Golovkin. That gets him hurt pretty badly about halfway into the round with a left to the body, but he hangs on and survives, then lands some good shots down the stretch. Golovkin looks too strong, but Kell is game. He was wobbled by that left hook in the first round, but was able to move and avoid further punishment and actually finish the round pretty well with a scoring flurry.
It's in here and in here, nowhere else. That's the only 2 things he needs to win this fight, this and this, because he's got the skill.
Then, he returned to win the second round with a series of clean, straight shots that snapped Golovkin's head back, that were flashy, albeit not devastating. Well, this is starting to be a fun fight early at least. Brook's speed is making a difference, but he's landing some good uppercuts. Stood in the pocket and gave as good, if not better, than what he received in the second round, and didn't seem to have much trouble catching GGG coming inside over the next couple of rounds. But power shots from the larger fighters seem to take their toll.
But can Brook take away the advantage in some spots, in some moments, to where it reveals certain character flaws in Golovkin?
Brook hit the floor early in the third while taking a left hook and retreating at the same time, though the exchange was ruled a slip rather than a knockdown. Golovkin continued to press throughout the 3 minutes and seemed intent on making it a rugged fight more than a skills contest. He landed the best shot of the fourth too, in the form of a straight right hand along the ropes, and he's coming out with a hard rush and some big shots. Golovkin takes his round, but Brook did good work late again in the round. Golovkin is in a tough fight right now, but he's doing more damage and winning the rounds. Brook is fighting very well, but the power difference is still the real difference. Round 5, Golovkin is putting money into the bank with body shots, and Dominic Ingle throws in the towel. Golovkin is wearing Brook out a bit, but hey, there it is.
And he's not middleweight, he's not his division.
Brook appeared in serious trouble and favoring his eye when his corner suddenly threw in the towel and stopped the fight. The Brook favoring crowd wasn't happy with the stoppage of what had been a compelling fight, but both Golovkin and his trainer Abel Sanchez claimed a decisive end was near anyway.
It was over. I mean, Gennady knew it was over and he was touching him with too many clean shots. I think something's wrong with his eye, and the heavy hands eventually were going to hurt him permanently.
It wasn't the prettiest performance of GGG's career, but he got the job done and extended his knockout streak to 23 fights. Golovkin, 36-0, seemed hell-bent on knocking Brook out early, and that made him sloppy at times.
Street fight, just broke him.
Kell is a good fighter, but he's not middleweight, said Golovkin, who rated his performance a 3 or 4 on a scale from 1 to 10.
From 1 to 10, how would you rate this fight? Your performance.
My performance, 3 or 4.
I wanted to bring a big drama show, like a street fight. I feel like it was finished, it was over. Maybe a couple rounds more and that's it. I didn't feel any power. Sanchez, who told CBS Sports before the fight that no opponent from 154 to 168 pounds could last the distance with this man, who's now knocked out 23 in a row since 2008, agreed with Golovkin's assessment. He was trying too hard to knock Kell out.
He allowed himself to get into a bar fight, and he didn't look as good as we wanted him to, but we won.
Sanchez said, "I told him to just beat on him, practice. the corner did the right thing. At that point, when they stopped it, it was over. Eventually, he was going to hurt him permanently. Sanchez gave Golovkin a rating of 4 on a 1 to 10 scale. Sanchez said I wanted him to use a jab more. He didn't. He would use it for half the round and then not use it.
Just take your time, just not boxing, just pressing him.
Brook claimed he sustained a right eye injury in the second round, and he did have a noticeable red mark underneath it. He pointed to the area and rubbed it several times during the action. Upon recognizing that his corner had tossed a towel, Brook immediately turned towards trainer Dominic Ingle with his arms out, and Ingle gestured towards the eye as if preserving the fighter's health had been the catalyst.
You know, I could see 3 or 4 of them out there in this right eye. This one was okay, but when you're moving and you're in a fight, you know, it were hard to...
Still, Brook said he was disappointed with the decision. Absolutely, I could have continued fighting. It should have carried on, he said. Dom has seen me since I was 9 years old, so I don't know what he's seeing from the outside, but I wanted to carry on. If you're going to beat me, knock me out. I'm a competitor. I'm very frustrated.
You know, you could have fought on.
Absolutely, you know, with a fight with this magnitude of a fight, you know, it should have carried on.
I was seeing stars at times. It was fantastic to be in there with such a superstar and feeling the power and the weight.
No, I was struggling to see out one eye.
He's a throwback fighter, Golovkin. Everyone knows that who knows boxing. A real tough guy. It were a great experience fighting him with all those belts at the O2 Arena. The atmosphere was epic. When I exchanged some shots with him, I could actually feel the roar from the fans. I could feel it in there.
I had so much more to give, you know. I stood there at times. I was starting to settle in.
Brook's corner threw in the towel midway through round 5 as he was struggling with an injury to his right eye. It was later revealed to be an orbital fracture, which required serious surgery. I don't regret it, Brook insisted. I ended it on my feet. My corner chucked the towel in. A fight with this magnitude, it should have carried on, Brook said. Dominic Ingle has seen me probably from 9 years old coming through. Obviously the fighter in me wants me to carry on, but one more big shot and I could have actually been blind in that eye. So looking back, it was the best thing to do, but at the time, it was my first loss. It is what it is, I suppose. It was a great night, and the fans still come up to me now and say how excited they were when I lifted him off of his feet in round 2. A welterweight kid going up against someone that was that much of a nightmare for middleweights. It was the hardest I've ever been punched. Mad power.
Losing to Golovkin with the eye, and then Spence, I wish I could take it back, but...
In the final punch stats, Golovkin landed 133 out of 301 punches for a 44% connect percentage. Brook landed 85 out of 261 for a 33% connect rate. Sanchez said, I respect Kell. He is real, and thanks to his corner for his career and for his family, the stoppage was correct. Ingle said, you can't be fighting a guy like Golovkin when you can't even focus on the guy. Many thought that perhaps Golovkin was ill during the week.
Outbreak of speculation on the web, particularly in America yesterday, that you were sick.
Because he was a bit more reserved and seemed a little bit irritable. But he said he was fine, dismissing the rumors.
And close up on his face at today's press conference and tell me that's a man that actually looks really confident and looks really, really well.
He looked healthy as he knocked out Brook, who was hoping to join all-time greats Sugar Ray Robinson and Carmen Basilio as the only reigning welterweight title holders to win middleweight titles. All in all, Kell Brook showed that he was a warrior, and that he took the challenge by fighting Golovkin.